continue on here. Now, the thing that we need to be looking at when we're talking about this particular story here is that the original revolutionaries and what aspects they did and what the price they paid was, once they ousted the Napoleon and the French off of the land, okay, in America, we told about Louisiana and how it was the cheapest purchase that had ever been in the history of, land purchase or land sale, right? But the reason why that happened is because once Napoleon knew that they was losing and that was going to be taken, well, again, think about it. When you usurp a land, you get all this land, territories, everything that coming with the whole entire package. So if the Haitians were going to annex Haiti along with Louisiana, guess who was going to have a problem? Well, the reason why it was a problem, it was a problem for a lot of y'all who don't know your history. In 1797, Thomas Jefferson was deeply disturbed about what was happening over there. Now, you're talking about 1797, you're talking about 6 years of this war. They knew what was going on. They knew that they was getting their ass murked over there. You know what I'm saying? And so they felt that, and I'm going to quote something that came from Thomas himself, according to how they write in history. They said that Thomas Jefferson said, he said, if something isn't done and soon done, we shall be the murderers of our own children. Okay? The revolutionary storm now sweeping the globe will be upon us, and happy if we make timely provision to give it an easy passage over our land from the present day, or the present state of things in Europe and America. The day which begins our combustion must be near at hand, and only a single spark is wanting to make that day tomorrow. Now, what did he just say here? Thomas Jefferson just said, and I'm going to read that again because I probably wasn't too clear. It's a little late right now and I'm a little sleepy, but I'm doing this because, sometimes y'all need to be fed. There's a lot of different brothers and sisters out here with a whole lot of different ways of how they're dispersing information and teaching. No one way is the right way. And all information, I believe, is good information. Again, as long as you know how to absorb it and digest it. Now, this is what I'm saying here. This is what Thomas Jefferson said in 1791. He said, if something isn't done and soon done, we shall be the murderers of our own children. The revolutionary storm now sweeping the globe will be upon us, and happy if we make time provisions to give it an easy passage over our land. From the present state of things in Europe and America, the day which begins our combustion must be near at hand, and only a single spark is wanted to make that day tomorrow. Now, what he's saying here is this. Look, you see that shit that's going over there in Haiti? If there's a, like say for instance somebody in your neighbor was cooking, like say a neighbor was cooking, and that shit smelling good, and that wind sweep it over so you can smell it, you be like, man, that shit smelling good. Well, see, that would be the same thing what Jefferson was afraid of. If the slaves in our land catch a whiff of what the hell is going on over here, we're going to have that same issue here. Okay? So he said, we got to come up with some kind of provisions to give us an easy passage over our land. You know what them passages were? Christianity. They gave you Christianity. They gave you civil rights. They gave you the voting. They gave you the 13th, 14th, 15th Amendment. See, you probably saying, well, damn, didn't he talk about if we don't do something with our children? Well, see, he wasn't talking about the era in time he was speaking. he was talking about in the future. See, he was talking about future generations. He wasn't talking about at the state present time. He was talking about in the future to come. You see, and the provisions that they are made or have made or continue to make, that's why I'm going to take more than, this is going to take several parts. So, if you get the one, you're going to have to go to two. So I'm going, this is going to be like a thriller. But you gotta be in it. Like the lottery, you got to be in it to win it. So, going on with the point here. Now, he says here that what he meant by the murders of our children, again, that has to do with future generations that were coming. He said this revolutionary storm now sweeping the globe will be upon us. Well, they anticipating the day. You understand what I'm saying? They have been since 1797 when Jefferson brought this before Congress, the government at that particular time. So the anticipation was, when to bring up organizations like, let's say for instance, when you're talking about your OSS that Hitler and them had, right? They had OSS. Then America created from OSS, they came up with the CIA, right? All right. And then when you talk about CIA, you're talking about, counterintelligence. You're talking about the DCI, the DDCI, the DDI, the DDO, the DIA, the DO. You understand? The INR, the NFIB. You're talking about the NID, the NIE, the NIO, the NRO, the NSA, the NSC, the NSDD, the NSPG. You understand what I'm saying? The PDB, the PFIAB, the SCI. You talking about the SNIE. Now you probably saying, what the hell? What's all them acronyms for? See, when I be hearing a lot of my brothers out here and they be talking about, man, we ready to do this and we ready to do that, I'm saying that, you better understand what you saying out here. You better be really knowing what you talking about. Again, with this information I'm telling you right here and right now, 1797, brother, sister, 1797. Okay? You remember in the Willie Lynch letter where it talks about how this particular apparatus could be perpetually put on them and it could last for 300, maybe 1,000 years? But there was this one little clause that he said that could break it. Right? Like there's nothing foolproof. Even a condom is only 99 point something, right? So in that provision, in that clause, he said, unless some great phenomena would take place. So we got a foolproof thing that we're using, but we have to always be having a plan or a policy or something set up just in case. See, people of the African descent, especially here in this land, we're day-to-day people. Let's be real about it. We're day-to-day. We live day by day. Folks that we're attending with, who we have issues with, people around the globe who are calling themselves to be, international, they plan. See? You can go to a lot of these corporations and they already have 50 years already advanced what the whole company is moving forwards to. But you ask us, we have a few sprouts here and there, and you can't be unified on one thought. So how can you come on and say some things talking about we ready, come on with it, join up? Come on, man. Be real. You setting yourself up and those who following you to just get you know. And let me put it real talk. I ain't no punk now. But the thing is, he ain't stupid either. You feel what I'm saying? So, since 1797, when Thomas Jefferson was being disturbed about this, they've been in preparation. So, haven't you ever realized, and depending on how long you've been on this planet, if you've been around for a little longer, you remember how Haitians couldn't even come to America. Remember, they used to, back in the 80s, when they was talking about when the refugees, they would call them refugees. Remember they had them, they had them where they couldn't even come in. It was like refugees, we would not let them in. But a lot of us don't know why. This is why. They did not want the intermingling with those from Haiti with those of here. See, different mindsets. You see what I'm saying? When somebody who's coming, even though they might be impoverished and poor and all that under that title, but they knew freedom and they knew how to fight. You feel what I'm saying? Here you were still structured under this white supremacy, and you still under this being hypnotized with Christianity, and then here somebody was going to come tell you some things. See, here's a little unkept secret. Most blacks in this land believe, and we talking about going back, because see, this new breed, it got some ways to go. A lot of y'all looking for the quick fix, microwave escapism, how to get out of this. There's no one quick fix, instant, add water, and presto, magical, it's going to be poof, it's going to happen. It ain't going to happen like that. But we got to take examples and look at them and say, how can we? You understand? How can we? But anyway, let me continue on what I'm talking about here. Now, so in that particular time when you see that the Haitians couldn't come in, it looked like every time any nation that was of African origin that came here, it was some kind of taboo, something mysterious where they did not really intermingle with the American African. We don't know if that was part of the criterion for applying for citizenship, or this is part on the test taken, but there was something there. Those of you who may be listening, comment and tell me if there was such a thing, or this was just something that was unanimously done. Other African descended or native people who felt like they didn't want to participate with the American black, because it's kind of like in Amistad. If you seen the movie Amistad, if those who seen the movie Amistad, you remember that particular part where Morgan Freeman is playing a particular part, and Cinque and them was being, marched through I guess I forgot what area that was, but they was being marched through. And one of the brother Africans was like, "Hey, brother," but he was speaking kind of like in the native tongue. And Cinque looked and said, "That's no brother, that's a white man." Did you get what I just said? Morgan Freeman was the brother who was kind of like doing a Miss Driving Daisy job, even at that particular time. I mean, just, ironic when you're fucking with Hollywood. Stay tuned for part 3. This is Mr. Blows Your Mind with another thought-provoking topic.